My name is Beth and I'm a sewing pattern designer and blogger at Sew DIY. This month I'm featuring my Miri Tank top pattern and celebrating it with a brand new video sew along. The Miri Tank top is a woven tank top that's designed for beginners. It comes in a scoop neck and a V-neck, and it comes in sizes 0 to 32 with 3 cup sizes for every size. Today's video is the final sewing part of the sew along. Last week we sewed the all-in-one facing that finishes the neckline and the armholes, and today we're going to be sewing the side seams, tacking down the facing, and hemming the top. As we go along, I'll give you all my top tips for success. If you missed any of the videos, there will be links down in the show notes, as well as a link to the pattern if you don't have your own copy yet. Let's get started. Here's our top, and last time we put the facing on and we just have a couple steps left to do. Next, we want to sew the side seams. So place it with right sides together. You want to grab some pins and then pin together the side seams. You can line it up where the facing meets the bodice at the underarm and put a pin there. There's also a notch in the side seam that you can align. And then we'll stitch straight down, so attaching the back and front facings and the back and front at the side seam. We're stitching this seam with a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance and a straight stitch at a regular length, and you'll want to backstitch at the beginning and end. You hit the seam line for the underarm, just lift the presser foot and move your fabric, and then you can keep stitching straight. Now we want to press this seam open. And then you can fold this facing down, just like we did up at the shoulders, and press this in place. So after you've pressed this down, we want to tack down the facing to prevent it from flipping up while we're wearing it. And there are 2 methods to do that. And the first one I'll show you is the hand tacking method. So I do recommend just putting a pin in here. I like to align the seam allowances, and then I have a hand sewing needle with a loop of thread and a knot at the end. We want to make sure the stitches are not visible on the right side of the garment. So I like to pinch the fabric with my left hand, and you can actually pinch just the facing and the seam allowance together. So with my thumb on the facing, I can put my fingers on the seam allowance and hold it together and keep the body of the shirt out of the way. Then I'm going to take my needle and thread and bring it through the fabric. And I like to loop my needle back through the end and pull it tight. So that is a little bit more secure than just looping it through and having the knot against the fabric. Sometimes if you pull too hard, the knot will pull through. So this should prevent the knot from pulling through the fabric. And then this stitching does not need to be clean because it's just on the inside. I would just be careful not to twist your fabric while you do a few little loops with your thread. So hold it steady, and just a few loops will do. Okay, I did about 3 on this side, and then I'm going to adjust my fingers. And I'm right-handed, so if you're left-handed, probably the reverse would work. You would pinch with your right hand and sew with your left. So now I have my thumb against the seam allowance and my fingers against the facing. And I'm going to go through the other side of the seam allowance and just pick up some loops. And then you can just tie it in a knot and cut your thread. So the other method is to do a stitch in the ditch, and you can use your sewing machine and you stitch through the side seam and you stitch through all the layers of fabric. So The main drawback is that there's a chance that it would be visible from the exterior. And the second drawback is that it would be kind of hard to unpick these stitches. In concept, we will stitch right in the side seam, so it's pretty much invisible. We're not top stitching right on the fabric, but right in that seam. So it's in the ditch in between these two pieces of fabric, and it's supposed to be invisible. I think it's probably better to stitch from the right side. And if you need to, use some pins to hold it in place, and then just stitch with a straight stitch very carefully down the middle. And I would do a little back stitch and use a longer length of 3.0 like we did with our understitching. Here's where I made the stitch in the ditch, and it really is invisible from the right side. And even when you're wearing it, your arm will cover this most of the time. So it is a good option. One benefit to this is that the facing is tacked down all the way from the top of the side seam to the bottom of the facing. With the side seams all done, the last thing to do is hem the top. So I recommend trying it on and deciding how short you want it to be. There's 1.5 inches of hem allowance in the pattern, and it's designed to sit at the high hip, but you can hem it as short as you want. Different fabrics will behave differently, and some are easier to fold up into a hem than others. If I'm working with an especially tricky, uncooperative fabric, or I'm making a really curved hem, I will stitch a line of basting stitches in the hem, and I place the line of stitching exactly the distance where I want the bottom of the hem to be. So when I fold it over, this is the bottom of the hem, and then I can press this in place. And that basting is kind of like a pre-fold, like a crease, and it'll just make it easier to press along that line. And then I can tuck in the raw edge and stitch it down. If you're using the basting and you want to be able to remove it later, I do recommend just using a seam ripper to cut some of the threads along here, and then it'll be easy to remove after stitching. On my fabric, the basting is kind of gathering up the fabric a little bit, so I will definitely clip this a little bit to release some of that extra tension. I think that's just because this fabric is very thin. Another tool that I really like for pressing up a hem is this easy hem. It's metal, so I can iron on top of it. So I can just fold my fabric over and use the markings on the tool to make sure I have an even hem. All right, here I have my fabric. I've released some of the stitches to make it more relaxed. That doesn't happen with most woven fabrics. I think this one is just particularly sensitive. So what I'm going to do is fold up the raw edge so that it's almost to that line of stitching and press it. And I want to try to do this evenly all the way around, because the more evenly I fold this, the more evenly I can stitch it. And you can also use your little tool, if you have one, to just fold this in, and you can press right on top. Then I'm going to fold my fabric again to the wrong side along that line of basting stitches and just press that down. And then you might want to put a few pins in here to hold this in place and do this all the way around the hem. Then it's ready to stitch. I'm going to stitch with a straight stitch, slightly longer than normal, like 3.0 to 3.3 length. I've moved my seam allowance guide to where I need it, and you can decide whether you want to stitch right side up or wrong side up. Some machines I have found have prettier stitches on the top than on the bottom, and so that makes me stitch right side up a lot of the time. This machine's pretty good. I don't think there's much difference at all, but it's just something to be aware of and think about. You might want to look at your stitches and do some tests. So I'm going to start at a side seam, and I'm going to stitch right side up. And then I'm just going to feel where the fold is with my fingers and make sure I'm on track, as well as having my seam allowance guide. Okay, and then you continue all the way around. As you approach the place where you started, try to make sure that your stitching aligns and that you can just stitch right over the beginning of the stitching line. And then I do a little back stitch. The last thing to do is just cut any remaining loose threads. I hope that this video was helpful for you. Let me know in the show notes if you have any questions. If you don't have the Miri tank top pattern yet, there's a link down below. Even though we're done sewing the tank top, I have some ideas for hacks that I would love to share, so hopefully I can get them whipped up by the end of the month. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of all future videos. Happy sewing!